Welcome to Silk Screen Now. Every day you see people wearing t-shirts, and you see them advertising someone's business. Why not make it your business? Now here's Bob Mongiello to show you how to print t-shirts.
Alright, today I'm going to show you how to put the emulsion on the screen. And the emulsion we're using is a pre-mixed emulsion. They sell several types, and I like the pre-mixed emulsion best. This tool here is called a screen coater, and you're going to pour the emulsion into the screen coater. Now I use a small screen coater because the bigger you have, the more cleanup and the more waste of the emulsion. So I like using a small one. But some people like to use a larger one, and that's fine. It doesn't hurt. Alright, so the way you coat a screen, on a screen coater there'll be a sharper edge. And it's not real sharp, it just applies it better to the screen. So watch what side you're using. Alright, so see how I'm starting up from the bottom? I'm not trying to get way down. Okay, so we're going to tilt it, and you see how I stop from the top? Okay, I'm going to clean that up in a minute. See how I'm leaning the screen down this way? Just for cleanup. Okay, we're going to coat both sides. So I'm leaning the screen this way. Now bring it down. Lean it. Lean it back. Lean it. Okay, now we want a thin coat. So I'm going to lean it back and scrape off all the excess. See how I'm leaning the screen? That's important. I'm taking all the excess. I drip some down. Okay, we want a thin coat. The way you do it is you lean it back. You want a thin, even coat. It doesn't have to go all the way to the edge. Doesn't have to go to the bottom. Your image is going to go right there. And I'm going to show you how you deal with that around there. So we're going to do a two-color today. So I'm coating two screens.
Alright, cut.
A couple other things I want to mention about emulsion. It's a water base, so you're going to clean up with warm water, and you want to clean it immediately. If you let it dry in your screen coater, you won't be able to get it out. Okay. comes two separate ways. One, that it's two parts where you shake up a little bottle of chemicals with water and you stir it in. And that's a two-part emulsion. And then there's a pre-mixed emulsion. And the pre-mix, both of them are water-based, so you're going to clean up with water. And both of them, you have to clean them right away when you're done. So we're going to clean this up with warm water, and you can wash it down the sink, but you're going to save all that excess emulsion in your screen coater, put it back in the container. The container should be black. Okay, you don't want to be in a UV lighted area. That means fluorescent lighting or sunlight. You can't expose, that will expose the screen. The lighting we have right now is LED lighting, so there's no UV rays. That's why we're able to do this, and I'm just doing it in the bathroom here, which is there's no windows. So anyway, that's what you want to do that, and then you're going to set these down out of the way. So any kind of fan to dry it faster. On my website I show how to make a box to put the screens in and put a fan in, so there's no dust or anything. You can put it in a closet area, but you want it to dry in a dark area. Emulsion's expensive, about $30 a quart, so you do want to save as much as you can. You want the image to be in the right place. You don't want it to be just anywhere. And so it's best to put your screen on the printer and take whatever you're going to print and at least have an idea where you want it. It doesn't have to be exact because you're going to line it up later, but you want where it's going to go. So we have from the top of the image about 8 inches down. So we know it's 8 inches, and I'll show you what we do from there. Okay, when you're going to burn an image into a screen, you have to create your artwork and print it on what they call vellum. It's a transparent paper, and I usually buy like a 50 pack, and this was made. They make it for inkjet, they make it for laser. I like the laser. The reason I like the laser is you can buy toner aid, and this will last for a long time because basically you want that image to be real dark. So what toner aid does, I'm going to spray it over here, is it enhances the darkness on the image. Alright, so we have our artwork put on vellum, that's important. What I want to talk to you now is how you're going to burn the image into the screen. And you can see here, this is an exposure unit, and if you go to my website, I show you how to build this for about $25. It's real reasonable. Now you can spend $800 to $1,000, but this is just as effective, and I'm going to show you how it works. It's very simple. So you go to the website, learn how to build this. You will need, and it'll show you on the website, a 1/4 inch piece of plate glass, and this is about 15 inches by I'd say about 16 inches. You want it to fit right on the inside of the screen. So we're going to kind of set that to the side. We're going to grab our screen. Now the emulsion dried. And it's a real thin coat, and it took about a half hour to dry. Now, set this aside for a second. Alright, now we're doing a 2 colors. So one screen is going to have one image, and it must be put on in reverse. And remember, whoops, we're going down here. See these holes? are for the brackets for the printer. So we're going to go 8 inches roughly. I figured from the top of that. So let me have a look here. So I want to bring this and center it more. Okay, now the screen, once you bring this image, you can move it around on your printer, but not, 6 inches. So you want to kind of get it right where you need it. You'll be able to move it 2 or 3 inches. So again, we're going to bring it 8 inches down, center it. So the first screen we're going to burn is this image. And I'm going to measure this too. So that's 5.5 inches. Because when I do the other screen, I'm going to go in 5.5. I'll know where that one belongs. So, put the glass is to push against, so the image is real tight. The glass has to be clean because it'll reflect any shadow. So, okay, now we're going to turn the exposure. This is a 500 watt halogen light, and we're going to expose it for 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes and turn the light on. Start the timer, so we're going to let it go for 3 minutes. Alright, it's been 3 minutes. Turn the light off before you touch anything. Take the glass off. Remove the artwork. So now you have a bottle with water, a mister bottle, and you're going to mist both sides. And you're going to let it set for about 3 minutes. So I sprayed it with water. Now I'm just going to put it in the shower. But you can wash it out. Now you don't want to wash it outside where there's any sunlight because the sun will expose it. So to wash it outside, it's got to be in the shade, and you can't walk through the sun to the shade. I have people call me about that. So you're going to put it on just like a warm water, not very hot, and turn the shower on. Once you wash out the screens, the next thing we want to do is set the screen up for the printer. So with the Blue Diamond printer, I have what I call registration brackets, and they're real easy to set up. Just put this carriage bolt through, and I pre-drilled the holes. Let me back up a little. So what I do is I move the screen up to these 2 pins, registration pins, and I draw a line, and then I drill a 3/8 inch hole. Now I have videos that describe that action really well, so you can watch those as well. So okay, we're putting the carriage bolt through the bottom. And we're putting the registration plate and a knob. And you want to tighten these knobs so that carriage bolt pulls all the way in.
Where does he
Do
get the
that
shirts
on
from?
both sides. Alright, and then you're going to loosen back up. You're going to slip these right over the registration pins. Just for now, you're just going to tighten those up. Okay, now what we want to do, see we have all the space around here, and we don't want the ink to go through. So we're going to put tape over that. What we're going to do now is tape off the screen, and the way we're going to do it is we're using this blue paint tape, kind of waxy on one side, and the way I'm going to tape it is so when you go to clean it up, it'll be really easy. So I'll show you how that works. Be doing is making it so when we put the ink on here and we're all done, we're going to push the ink off, and this will clean up really, really easily. A lot of people fill in all the space here with just take a paintbrush and fill it in with emulsion. But when you go to clean it up and you're trying to get ink out of the corners, it's really, really difficult. So this might take a little time to do, but you're going to see in the end, when we're all done printing, how easy it is. And so this is worth going through the trouble. The next thing we're going to do is line up the screen so when you do a two-color print, everything's in alignment so the print is even and the way it's supposed to be. So we're going to take the original artwork and I'm just going to line up one of them about where I want it. Let me have a look at that. What I'm doing is kind of seeing where I have movement enough to line it up with. Alright, that's about it. It's 4.5 inches. You know what, I need to take the other piece. So this is how the other piece would go. So what I need to do is center this too at the same time. Three inches. So it's about 3 inches on each side. So I'm going to take this one off. I need a straight edge to line that lettering up. So what I'm going to do is take a marker like that. And if you have a T-square, that'll work too. Okay, so I'm going to line it up, just tape it down. And then this is the second color. It's going to go right here. Now on a more complex print, you can put targets and just line the targets up to make it easier. This is a very simple print, so we did this. We're just eyeballing it. Close enough. All right, so we're going to take, I think this will be, well, it doesn't matter what color it is. But what we're going to do now is see, you can see right through the screen. I'll show you again. See how before you put ink in it, you can see right through there. So we're going to look through there. All right, then we're going to tighten these down. These are our registration. And what's really great about these is the screen will not move. In a lot of the printers that you buy, when you're doing that, the screen will move and it's really hard. But this way, the screen didn't move, and now we have that color set up. And now we're going to line up this one. See on this printer how you have how much room you can move around and register? All right, so now I'm looking through and I'm lining up the second color. And I hold it steady and I just tighten down the registration. Printer, and it comes with enough registration brackets where if you want to do 6 colors, you can. Right now we're doing 2 colors, and we're getting ready to print that right now. Now we don't want to leave that on there. No, we'll set that aside. All right, so the first thing we want to do is spray adhesive. And this is special adhesive. You buy it. It's for material. It's not spray adhesive for artwork. So it's a different material. I just want to know kind of where the design is going to go. And I just bought a dozen white t-shirts for $18. And they're large. I'm going to print the logo on the front. So the way I line it up is there's usually a crease. So we want that crease straight. It may not be center. So what we're going to look is the seam on both sides here. Make sure that's kind of level. And then, okay, the design's going to go right about here. But sometimes you may want to bring that, if you need to lower it, like 1 finger or 2 fingers. So that's a measurement there. And then these 2 seams to the end of the board are a measurement. Okay, and you're going to pat it down. Okay, now we're going to do the light color first, which is red. Okay, remember we lined up the screens already, so do the red first. Okay, the kind of ink I'm using is called Plastisol. It's a liquid plastic. And it needs to be dried for about a minute. This is the silver flash dryer, and it's an infrared heat panel. And this is the unit that's going to dry this ink. Now this ink is what you see on 99% of the t-shirts on the market today. And for the last 40 years, they've used liquid plastic. It's called plastisol. And they dried it with something similar to this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to float it. We have two little pieces here. So I float it and I scrape off the ink. What we're going to do next is we want to dry this. We're not curing it. Curing it takes about a minute, but we just want to dry the top of that ink. So the flash dryer is about 2 inches away, and it's just for about 5 seconds. What we're doing is drying the top of the ink. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we dried the top of the ink, so now we can put another color down on top. We're going to put the blue ink down. You always go light from dark, so blue's a little darker than red. And we're going to put the blue ink in. Alright, so we're ready to put the next color down. So what I'm going to do is float the ink. I cover the design and I scrape it off. It's that easy. So now we want to cure this. Okay, make sure the ink is off your fingers. And the one thing that you will always do is put ink on these corners. So a lot of times when you're doing this, you have somebody else put the t-shirt on and take it off. But there's your two color. Now what we're going to do is lay it on this little palette here, and then we're going to dry it. Now this is 4 inches away, and we're going to let it go for about a minute, not longer than a minute, and it will cure that. The t-shirt will fall apart before that ink comes off. Okay, so I wanted to show you this little stand, this table stand. See how it is made out of real simple 4x4 and plywood? I have a video on my website and I show you how to build this for about $25. So this little unit is a complete silk screen shop right here. So I'm not sure that was a minute. You probably want to have a timer when you do this. It'd probably be a good idea. But basically, there you go. That's a completed t-shirt. So I can do this about every minute. I can print a two-color t-shirt. So that means I can print 60 of these an hour. And if you sell these for $10 an hour, that's a really good profit, because I just paid $18 for a dozen of these blank t-shirts. So let me just take you through this again real quick. So we're spraying the adhesive right around where the print is. We're lining up the t-shirt. We pat it down a little. We're going red first. Float it, print. Float it, print. We're going to flash dry it for 5 seconds. lay our next color down. Going to float it, print it. And that was really, really easy to do. And while that's drying for a minute, you're going to do that again. So you see how you can just do one after another. And you can get fast at doing it. So the one thing on flash drying is different than curing. Flash drying is closer, and it's only for about 5 seconds, because if you heat this board up, okay, so now we're done with that one. And we're ready to put this on the board. So, if you heat this board up too much, the glue won't stick and it'll warp. So you got to be careful. Flash drying is only for a few seconds. Also, you don't have to spray that glue every time. It actually will last, once you get the rhythm of this, for 2 or 3 t-shirts. So you don't have to spray it every time. After a while, this will actually cure a lot faster. This heater will reach up to 600 degrees, so it really speeds up after a while. Clean up. It's real easy to do. I'm gonna put paper towel right here where the image is, and then we're gonna push all the ink off the screen. And now plastisol never dries unless it's heated. I mean, it'll dehydrate, but it won't, you want to save it. So it'll last a long time if you keep it covered. So we're saving all the t-shirts that have barely used it, any of it. I could easily do, I imagine 250 t-shirts or more, maybe 400 with this ink, and that costs $30. So it's really inexpensive. All right, I'm going to put the squeegee down there. All right, that's about it. Now look at how easy, because we taped it the way we did. Whoop. Clean up. It'll be really fast and easy. Whoop. All right, so there's a little bit we have to clean up. We just throw this in the trash. Next, it's really cool. It's called Fast Open. And you really have to have the air ventilated. It really smells. All right, so we're gonna, so you see how using that, putting the tape on that way, how fast and easy. Normally ink gets all in these corners, and it is just impossible to get out. So it is worth the trouble to tape it the way I did earlier. And that's basically it. You want the image clean, the screen, all the tape off of there, and that's it. That's how easy it is to clean up. Now, I just wanted to point out, I don't ship this because it's highly combustible, so I don't sell it on my website, but you can find it at any supplier. It's called Fast Open 957. Just Google it, you'll find it. It's about $6 a can, and it's very powerful, very strong. You have to have it ventilated when you're doing it. That's about it. Now when you're all done printing and you want to reclaim it, the screen, which means remove the emulsion, so you can put another image on there. One thing you want to do is use a mild soap, dish soap. Some warm water in a rag. And the reason is you're removing any chemicals. Any chemical residue, so you want to remove that. So now, you want to rinse all that off. Now, next thing we're going to use is reclaimer. Reclaimer is a chemical mix, and what I usually buy it is in crystal form, and you mix it with 8 gallons of water. So it makes a lot. It's about $60 for a bag of those crystals. So anyway, it's all mixed up. It's in here. So what you're going to do is spray reclaimer. Okay, I'm doing it out of the sun. Obviously, I'm doing it in the shower here. But you do not want to do this in the sun, because if it breaks down and dries, you'll never get it off the screen. So it's best just to do it indoors in the tub. And we're going to let it set for a few minutes. If it's really not coming out very well, if you have a pressure washer, that just blows it all out real easily. So we're going to try the shower, see how it does. And so let's just, yeah, it seems to be. Seems to be working. Again, if you don't use a mild soap, the ink is very oily. When I clean the ink off, it's very oily, and this is a water base, and so is the emulsion, so it'll just roll off there, so it will not work. So you definitely have to wash it there. Okay, we're going to give it a
Oh, maybe I don't know.
Ready? Okay,
Yep.
Listen, with the shower, it's not powerful enough, so a pressure washer would blow that all out. Now you see where there's a stain where the design was? What happens is the ink will dye the screen, so don't try to get that out. That's going to stay in there, but you want to get the emulsion out. And a pressure washer. If you don't have one, you can go to one of those coin car washers and take about 10 screens at a time and just clean them out all at once. And that has the soap in it and the pressure and all that, so you don't even have to worry about it. Just sit there with, suds it up and then reclaim it and then pressure wash it. Alright? So that's how you do that.